welcome to the Alpha Nerd Podcast. I'm your main host, Kyle, with my cinema co-hosts, Dan and Greg.
How you doing?
Hello.
And now, we're going to start with our news segment.
News segment.
Yes. Let's start with Justin Rollins. Charges against him. All those assault and battery charges by his girlfriend and stuff.
Never heard of it.
It's the dude who does Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they apparently were dropped. They've all been dropped because there's no evidence and he's proven otherwise. So now, as me and Dan were talking about, he thinks he should go after Adult Swim, not Adult Swim, but Cartoon. Is it Adult Swim or who runs this?
Where the heck did my water go?
It's right there. Mine's right here. Who is it that dropped him? Yeah, Adult Swim.
Everyone dropped it.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network, Hulu.
Well, yeah. So his big thing is now he believes he was talking about, that they got justice for all the false allegations.
I think they took his name off that game.
Yeah. So now Dan and me think he should sue them back for premature firing him.
Well, it's most likely that's most likely what's going
to happen. Yep. So I thought
it most likely sounds like he convinced her to drop the charges. Because they don't convict, they don't go after a conviction unless they have enough charges to charge you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with a lot of the Me Too movement stuff, they've been trying to, they bring you to court and stuff, especially if she was going after him for that. She was trying to sue him. And then try to get retroactive charges, I believe. Because they said everything happened in 2020.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he was arrested in 2020.
Mm. Come on.
He was arrested for it, and then he was going to court for it.
Okay.
That's what it was.
But
so most likely, he either settled out of court or he convinced her to drop the charges.
But either way, we'll see what happens there. More of a local news. Now, this isn't like movies or shows specifically, but this is local entertainment. The Northern Lebanon School District voted against allowing the high school to do the Addams Family musical production for their yearly theater thing. They were against it because they believe it promotes bad values and inappropriate themes for families. Yeah, give me that look, Greg. I rolled
because almost all of the things that happen to Addams Family would never happen in real life.
Well, that's any movie or TV show, right?
Well, I mean, they're an extreme example because they're making jokes about torturing each other.
Yeah, torturing each other.
But it's like they don't care.
People being dead and holding seances and all kinds of stuff.
What's the whole funny part about though?
Right.
Yeah, it's a extremely
They're
weird.
They're not supposed to be a normal family.
I know.
Yeah. And but here's the thing: their values as a family are.
It's not that.
Their values as people are actually really good values.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
They believe in accepting everybody.
Yeah, the mother and the father show love and
they're a committed relationship.
Yeah, right.
They, they believe in their kids. They believe in their community. They always try to help in their community, even though, everyone thinks they're weird, but they're always there for community. They have no biases. They're always trying to help everyone out. They never slight anybody.
Yeah, that's weird to me that they.
But they're because the school district's seeing it from a pure aesthetic value. So they're like, oh, they're zombies. And
Who cares?
And probably freaking out because Morticia is supposed to be a super attractive woman.
She's hypersexualized.
Yes. And then,
to one person.
Yeah, Gomez specifically.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, I understand that.
She doesn't really show anything.
Yeah, no, it's just
you can see
right.
you can see the form of her.
Well, yeah, right.
But
you
they don't
walk down the halls of the high school and see worse things than that.
Right. On a daily basis.
Right.
So
I mean, when we went to high school, we've seen worse than that.
So apparently the school board debated on this for 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Well, apparently this is the one from the Broadway version, I guess. And there might be smoking in it. Because Elvira, the freaking wife sometimes
Yeah,
has
yeah.
a cigarette holder and stuff like
sometimes.
Morticia.
Yeah, good old Morticia.
that. And Gomez smokes cigars.
Yep.
Yep.
You know,
I don't know. It's a weird thing to actually put your foot down on to me.
and it's you know where Lebanon is, right?
Lebanon, yeah.
Yeah, you know them, right?
You know, north of Israel.
Just a little bit north.
You know, it's kind of the area where I wouldn't do well in there.
It's just weird that that's what they
Draw the line.
draw
on.
the line at. It's,
You know.
that's
Well, the reason why the kids want to do it is because Has Wednesday came out and
Yeah.
all that
well,
stuff.
yeah,
on the
right.
hype train.
Repopularized it, right?
Yeah. So
And it's not even like in Wednesday they didn't even dress up. She didn't. There was no
anything
provocative anything.
No.
Well, number one is because her mother's not there.
Yeah, that is also true. And the couple scenes she still wasn't even that provocative.
Lebanon's
They're mostly just sitting in the car on the way to the school.
Yeah.
Lebanon's down near Philly, right? Like Reading, PA, Philly, PA. It's down that way, correct?
I'm not sure. I thought it was a little more.
Let me look.
Yeah. So they had a.
Yeah, it's like you're heading towards Reading. So it's right outside Lancaster. Lancaster.
That's
Lancaster.
yeah.
How do you pronounce
It's by Hershey.
Technically, you're supposed to say Lancaster, but I always go Lancaster.
That's how I say it.
Just
Lancaster.
I've heard people say Lancaster too.
Yeah.
Well, now I see where because it's right before Lancaster, so
right.
it's in the really country part and really heavy.
Yeah, I don't need to tell me those kids that
Well, it's
Well, the other reason why they
Amish
Reading
kids.
or
There's a lot of
Lancaster.
Amish and that kind of.
apparently
thing.
the other reason why they
Well,
well, the Amish aren't have nothing to do with it.
Apparently-
What I'm saying is that kind of.
We have a lot of Amish here.
Yes, but I'm saying it's that area where it's a lot of
Apparently-
based everything and.
No, I think this is more. They're talking about smoking and stuff, and I don't think the Amish care about smoking.
No, they don't.
And I think it's more like more.
They're some of the biggest smokers around.
Well, I just think the
Amish.
school district was like being like super way too cautious about it.
Yeah.
And apparently, the Lebanon Opera House was playing the Addams Family,
Yeah.
so that was
So the high school
nearby.
kids can't do
Yeah,
it.
right. It's very weird.
Yeah, so I felt that was really stupid.
Oh, speaking of which, that season 2 was confirmed and everything. Jenna Ortega now is going to take part in actually directing and screenwriting in the second one.
That's cool.
Because apparently in the first one, we already knew, but apparently it's more than we thought that she actually changed the scripts every day. Like, you know how how I didn't like the whole love triangle thing they had going on?
Yeah.
She hated it. Jenna Ortega could not stand the whole love triangle.
I didn't watch except the first episode, maybe. But so, who's the love triangle anyway?
It
Was it a girl boy one or something?
was two boys that were trying to like.
No.
One she was attracted to for unknown reasons because he worked at the coffee shop and he seemed like he had problems, so she was attracted to him for that. But then she was also attracted to one of the upperclassmen.
But he was more attracted to her. And he chased her.
Were any of
She
them?
had some.
It was just
interest.
really weird.
Were any of them ghosts and or werewolves?
I mean, the one kind of was.
The one was the main monster at the end.
Yep, and then the other one was a telekinetic.
Telekinesis. Yeah.
Telekinetic.
Because I
that
saw
could make
kind
his
of a
paintings
part
come
where
alive.
there's a werewolf in the woods or something.
It's a hide.
It's a hide.
Mm.
And the main one that she actually likes in the end is the
hide.
actual hide.
Mm.
It was just this weird thing. But anyway, she changed the script every day. So they want her to be a part of writing the script.
I would
for
too
this
if
one.
she's doing the right thing.
Yeah,
you
right,
know,
so-
you know.
yeah.
It's not like Brie Larson who can't act her way out of a paper bag trying to tell you what to do.
No, I thought she did great as Wednesday. I don't know how she's going to do in like a big time movie. I know she's in that new Scream. So we'll see.
find out.
We'll see how she does in that.
Oh, but
Yeah, Brie Larson, animated cardboard cutout. She got reanimated as a person. It's kind of like Mannequin.
yeah,
Remember the movie Mannequin?
Mannequin.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
That's a terrible movie.
but no
It's a horrible
personality.
movie.
It is a bad one. So
Yeah, but at least the actress in that had more personality than Brie Larson did.
that's true. She sucks.
She wasn't a good actress, but
I just
Brie Larson's worse.
yeah. So what was the one you had, Dan? Not the timeline, but the other one.
What are you talking about?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh yeah, the last Quantum Mania was the worst box office draw for any Marvel movie ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. So where is that? Let me see.
Which I'm not surprised. Like I said, it wasn't good.
It was
very reliant on the CGI.
261 million.
That is a low number.
And this is February 25th, so it's been a month, but still, it's probably not much more than that if it is any of
I
it.
don't know. Shazam might not even reach that.
But that's DC. That's a
This is the 31 Marvel movies. So.
Shazam opened up with like a 31 million weekend box office.
ugh, that's even worse.
That's what I mean. It's not doing real well from what I heard.
Yeah. It's just not gonna. It's not going well for superhero movies. It's played out. They need to.
I think that's what it is. Like you get a superhero movie every other month now, and people are just
Well, plus,
Yeah,
a lot.
right.
Plus, there's a lot. There's not many people going to theaters anymore because they're streaming and everything else.
yeah.
I'd rather stay home. And
There's
stream.
too many things coming out.
That's not true. I like to go to the
Theater every
sometime.
so
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's also the fact that a lot of people would never leave don't want to leave their house.
Well, no, I know. But when you said it, I said I'd rather stay home, and then I corrected myself. But I like to go to the theater every once in a while.
Certain movies, not
Yeah,
every movie.
right. I don't. Want
Well,
to
I'm not. I used to just go to theaters for superhero stuff, but I don't like superhero stuff anymore. And since Shazam came out, the first one, it's basically the second one seems like the same movie, except
Just way more comedy.
there's just a whole movie of the whole family being together,
Yeah.
instead of just the end.
Right.
Yeah,
you know.
they need to let that one go. And then now for the I can't think of it. Ezra Miller news section.
There is no Ezra Miller news.
No,
We already talked. It's over for them. It's over.
yeah.
Ezra Miller's over.
Well,
He's trying. We'll see.
his acting career's not over.
We'll see if he or they or
think-
whatever he determines his pronoun is.
I think that what's going to happen is, from everything I hear or read, everyone's saying The Flash is going to be an awesome movie. And if it turns out to be an awesome movie and it does really good, they're not going to.
I just don't like his face.
I just don't like your face.
I don't like his acting style. I don't like the Flash trailer is like not nearly as good as the comic
The
for
only
one thing.
I was excited about with the trailer was seeing Keaton as Batman again.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I was.
That's the only thing I was excited about.
I got super excited about that.
But it's not as cool as the comic book.
Yeah, well, I'm not the comic book person though.
Well, I'm just saying in the comic book they changed the entire thing. Instead of Bruce living and his parents dying, Bruce died and his parents lived.
Yep.
And Thomas Wayne's Batman.
Oh yeah.
And
I
then
remember.
his mother became the Joker.
Yes, I remember.
And she's
I remember
she's
you
a
explaining
child
that.
killer. She like specifically
It
kills
was
children.
it was amazing.
I remember you explaining it
Yep.
to me. Yeah.
And then Thomas is working with the Penguin at the casino.
Speaking of the Joker, Joker 2's coming.
I
Get a release
know.
date.
Yeah.
I can't say his name. What is it?
Joaquin
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
I always remember him from The Gladiator
I just
as the Emperor.
I just thought that the Joker should have stayed by its. The Joker movie should have been a standalone thing because the age difference between him and Bruce is just too much to make any sense.
yeah, I don't know.
Because in the regular comics, he's like maybe a little bit older than Bruce, but not more than
Maybe
5
like
years.
a couple years, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 5 years, but he's like 20 or 25 years. So what they're going to say is the reason why he can beat up the Joker is because he's elderly by the time he becomes Batman. Because he's 8 when he loses his parents. And
Right.
it takes him 15 years at least to train up to be Batman. So the guy's like late 30s, so he's 50-some years old by the time he freaking...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to explain that.
Crown geriatric crime.
Unless he they combine Bane and him. Have some weird drug-induced, super
guy.
Joker guy.
Boo on you, sir. Boo on you.
So, yeah. I'll probably watch it because the first one was good, and I'll expect it to not be as good because they're trying to introduce Harley Quinn via Lady Gaga. Which, like I said, she's
She's not a bad actor.
she's
not
no,
a bad
she's
actress.
she's actually decent. And you know what? I could see her playing Harley Quinn in this, but I just didn't think we needed this. I don't think we need this.
It would have made more sense if they would have set the Joker in like the 40s or something. That would have made more sense.
Yeah,
Because I think Lady Gaga's not really a physical actor, really.
she's
she's more of like a performer,
Right.
which means that she'd be good as like a gangster
Yeah,
girlfriend
I
or
got
something
you.
like
Yeah,
that, instead of like a flipping around acrobat thing.
Right.
Yeah, because everything she did in like the
House of Gucci.
the House of Gucci
House
and
of
the
Gucci, yeah.
not Amityville Horror, but the what are they? This TV series.
I'm not. I only.
It's not Amityville. It's,
I'm only aware of the House of Gucci, to be honest.
no, she played the vampire in the one. It was that horror series that everyone liked. It was the circus, and then it was the.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of its name.
Neither can I. Neither can I. What is it?
Yeah, right. It's gonna
Every time I see it all the time on like.
Oh, American Horror Story.
Yeah, that's it.
American Horror Story. She's played in a lot of that. And she does well in that.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing.
I always think of the Rocky Horror Picture Show every time I hear it.
That's
Yeah.
They might be able to pull it off if they get the right stunt person, and she looks like she might be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Scarlett Johansson in Black Widow. You obviously she can't do that stuff,
Right.
but she kind of looks like she might be able to,
Yeah.
sorta.
So,
But that's a
but
superhero
to be
thing.
fair, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movies aren't really actiony based. It was more just like a surreal.
I heard it was real good. I never got to watch it, but I heard it
I
was
thought you watched it with Cheetah. Oh, I thought you did.
Well, the Joker movie used more like real world New York City situations that actually happened in the late 70s, early 80s. Like they had a sanitation worker strike back then, so they had piles of garbage all over the city.
Yep,
Right.
on the streets. And
So it smelled like garbage from like hundreds of miles away.
Rats everywhere.
Yeah,
rats
it was,
everywhere.
yeah, and all
people
that
going
stuff.
Crazy,
I've been in New York a few times. There's rats everywhere now.
right?
It always reminds me of that video with the rat with the pizza in the subway.
Oh, you
ever seen that?
No. Greg's about to talk to you about the
decent-
dog.
I'm telling you, it was the size of a dog. We were in DC for his birthday.
We were looking for
We
somewhere.
were looking
to
for
eat.
somewhere to eat. We went to an Italian restaurant.
Yeah, we ended up going there.
Oh, we ended up. Where did we go first?
We were gonna go to the one. We were just looking down the street. We were walking.
No, we went to the one first. Remember online we looked at prices and then we got there and they were like way higher.
Oh, it was that weird steakhouse. And
Yeah.
It was like they wanted $80 for like a 8-ounce sirloin. Like it was like not that big.
So we're like, no, we're gonna find somewhere else. So we find this Italian restaurant, but it's like 5 blocks away.
I mean, it was also expensive, but
So but it wasn't that bad.
it was really authentic.
So we turned around and we were walking towards it. And on our way, we had to pass a Waffle House. And Kyle goes, it was perfect timing. Kyle goes, we can just go to Waffle House. I heard that's
no, maybe. Do you want to go to the Waffle House? I said, yeah, we could. You want to go to the Waffle? And as soon as I said that,
this rat, I'm not kidding you when I said this rat was the size of a poodle. Came out. And it stopped and looked at us. And I go, yeah, he thinks it's
Like
good.
a miniature
yeah,
pool?
Yeah.
and it was.
I'm
weird,
like, yeah, he thinks. I was like,
and
yeah,
it
he
stopped
thinks it's
like
good
right
too.
by the door, so it looked like it came out the door.
I was like, yeah, he thinks it's good too. Let's go in there.
Thing was
I
huge.
mean, massive. Thing was massive. And I've seen a bunch of rats because I've been in Baltimore. I've been in New York a few times.
Yeah.
It's the biggest rat I've ever seen.
Must not have been a lot of competition around
I
there.
started dying.
It was ridiculous.
It was massive.
You know what sad thing is? You know what's weird? I've never seen a rat in Philly.
You know what? Neither
They
have I.
probably hunt them for food.
I have.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Honestly,
Look, we were downtown. Remember when we were
post-apocalyptic.
Remember we were in that like what was it department store where you got all your clothes and stuff?
Yeah.
There were guys wandering around outside that looked like they'd hunt for rats for food.
That was true.
It was kind of skeezy. I'm like, come on.
I've never seen one in Philly either.
Yeah.
And I've been there a bunch of times too.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, it's fairly wide open, so there's probably dogs and other things that.
Yeah.
You know, for
Hunt 'em
someone who
and stuff.
doesn't like the big cities, I've been to the big cities a bunch.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh man. So yeah, that's
New York City.
So that's what we have for now. Me and Dan are going to see the D&D movie. We'll tell you all about it, Greg.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the D&D movie. Actually, I just seen a
Trailer for it?
yeah on TV the other day.
Yeah. So we'll tell you all about it.
How's that working? Is that how are they playing that?
Well, they basically try to use as much of the D&D stuff, like the monsters and stuff, as possible.
Right.
But they change some stuff around.
Yeah.
Like the city they use is called what was it? Neverwinter, which it has like a thermal spring under it, so that's why it's always warm there.
Oh,
It's like in the north, but
Yeah.
it's warm because of that.
Got it.
But they changed it a lot, so there's like a stadium with like magic thing that creates like mazes and stuff, which is a lot different from the game. There's nothing like that in there.
Got you.
And Hugh Grant plays kind of partly the villain, but not really the
Oh,
villain.
Hugh Grant's in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all
He
right.
plays like
There's a lot of weirdly.
Chris Pine plays a realistic bard. He's just the planner guy. Because usually they just sing songs to inspire people in the game, quote unquote.
Right.
But he doesn't do any of that. Because they just make a joke in one trailer where they go, I do plans, I plan. And he also plays the lute, and he's like prancing around with the lute.
All right.
So they're not really doing the lute thing. Although I'd like to see if they do have the lute thing.
Yeah.
I don't think Chris Pine can play the lute, but
We're gonna find out.
I guess.
So it looks interesting enough. Like, but then like the one trailer I saw of it is like, this seems really,
It's supposed to be cheesy, dude.
yeah. I just hope they stick with like
Well,
the.
what did you expect?
Well,
Well, they do have the standard.
they've had some serious D&D movies that were good too.
Oh, yeah, I did see this the other day. Do you know there's another Turtle movie coming out?
Yeah, of course.
Who cares?
They're gonna run it to the ground.
They are going to run it to the ground.
What D&D movie?
Oh, Mario's coming out here soon.
Well, there's that one based on like that wasn't really D&D though.
Yeah.
It was a cartoon, right?
No, it was like a serious one.
There's a lot of remakes. Like,
Then there's that really terrible one with Jeremy Irons. I felt sorry for him in that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Blue Beetle is. What's the Blue Beetle?
DC character.
The original guy was like kind of like a gadgeteer guy who made like gadgets, kind of like Batman, sort of.
Okay.
Except
But-
he had
but not as good.
and Beetle based.
Yeah, he was just obsessed with Beatles.
And the second one is like an alien parasite thingy.
Yeah, it's like an alien. It's like a alien Iron Man suit.
Except they're supposed to like take over people's bodies, but this one got damaged, and so it helped him do
Yeah,
stuff.
kind of like, and then once in a while it goes crazy and tries to kill people. But
Well, the original Blue Beetle was like back in the 30s, so it was like Egyptian based.
Yeah,
It's like magic.
That's what it shows. And
Yeah, they're always a
it shows a
scarab.
scarab. Yeah. it shows
but
a
they're going
scarab.
for the newer one, so it'll be a robot suit
From space.
from space.
Well, they're remaking Wonka.
Of course.
They shouldn't.
I know. I just
The first one's the
Let's
only
let
good
it
one.
be.
Yeah,
The Johnny Depp one was okay, but
I've never
weird.
seen the Johnny Depp one.
it was.
Not nearly. The entrance part was especially
So
creepy
I
to
don't.
me.
What is the Johnny Depp one? Is it pre Charlie?
No,
Is
it's-
it
It's
after
the same
Charlie?
exact thing as Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory,
It's
except
just-
they had a little bit of background on where the
Willy Wonka.
whatever.
So it's just
Oompa
Oompa Loompas came
so it's
from.
the same. So it's just Willy
same
Wonka.
movie with more cinematics and a little more deep.
and it's creepy because it's Tim Burton.
Yeah, so
That's
like,
it.
The reason why he was obsessed with
I mean, let's be honest. Kids die in that movie. First one.
they don't die. They don't die. They,
Well, the one kid probably did die.
That's what I mean.
The
fat one that got
German
stuck in
kid
the-
probably
he's
died.
gone. He's done. He's done.
Now the lady,
He's
the girl who
They blew up like a balloon and turned blue. I don't know.
she was still alive when she left.
Yeah, she was.
Although,
when she got rolled out, she was alive.
although
And all
to be
they had
honest,
to
the
do was
way
squeeze the juice out.
the way he said it was to squeeze the juice out. I'm like, I don't know, man.
That doesn't sound good, but
That's what I mean. I'm like, you know, that
and then the
died in that
one oh
movie.
wait, and then the last one, the spoiled girl, she did fall into a furnace, so we don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, all those kids died.
The only one I would.
So I can understand Tim Burton.
Well, no. I'd say the one that has the most.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the events of the story. I'm talking about the aesthetic.
Oh no, I know. That's what I mean.
But let's be fair. There is a chance the girl who blew up into a giant blueberry survived. A better chance than the other two, at least.
Well, to be honest, she's the one that I would most like not to survive.
Why? She wasn't that bad. She wasn't the.
They're all annoying,
They're all
except for like
annoying.
Charlie.
But that was their
The
whole
German kid was just gluttonous.
Yeah, but that was their whole thing.
yeah,
they were
all
all
he did
supposed
was
to be
eat.
like.
He didn't talk. He just ate stuff.
Well, I mean, there's greed. There's the girl that
I mean, they're all supposed to be just bad aspects
yeah,
of children.
right, yeah.
Greedy.
There's the greedy one. There's the.
I mean, they were all greedy. They were just different. Greed. One was just greedy for candy and chocolate.
Well, that's
It's gluttony.
gluttony.
Yeah. The other one was
There wasn't 7 kids, so it wasn't the 7
Yeah, it
deadly
was
sins.
not the 7 sins, but I'm just saying there.
the one was just a spoiled brat, so she's greedy for whatever she wanted.
She was the one who her dad was rich. And
Yeah,
owned-
the other
owned
one was
chocolate
just
factory.
obsessed with new experiences, and she was all obsessed with that gum.
Every
every flavor gum.
I always make fun of the grandfather too. Like you let your family live in wallow while you sat and laid in bed for years, and then all of a sudden your grandson gets a golden
Cheers,
ticket. You hop right up out of bed.
Yeah, he has to win millions of dollars. All of a sudden, you're feeling great.
People have noticed that. They go, why is he the grandparent that gets to go? Why him?
You left your family live
Squalor.
live in the slums.
Just waiting for the day for one of them to make it,
Right.
and all of a sudden, you're healthy.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Con man.
yeah, but the one with Johnny Depp, like they did a backstory on Willy Wonka for that one, which was his dad was a dentist and never let him have candy and stuff, and would torture him with candy, like put it like, ooh, you can't have this, it's bad for you, and just
What would be the point in that?
what, torture him with it?
Yeah.
I don't know. 'Cause
The
it's
only
weird.
part of the second one
it's Tim Burton. What do you?
the only part of the second one I liked was the Oompa Loompa part, like the backstory in the jungle, where he like cut in half a gigantic mosquito
Yeah.
to like save the Oompa Loompas or something, and that's why they let him go with them or something like that. It was
Pretty
weird.
much. It was weird.
I don't know. I always thought that it was like a prequel or a sequel.
Nope.
I don't think they ever did this. There is a second book, but I don't think they ever did that in the movie
Yeah, they sure did not.
where they go into space with the space elevator. And
Paws of Fury was a 3D animated movie that came out a couple years ago. I was going to take the kids to see it.
Yeah.
It is a shot-for-shot remake of Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, you said this already.
Yeah, no, well, I said it on Facebook, but I never said it on the show.
except without the words.
Yeah, without the, but they make. But here's the sad thing: is they make reference to those jokes, but instead of calling him like the N word like they did in there,
Yeah.
they call him a dog. Because they go to the thing like the new samurai's a dog, and they blank it out, and he's like, "He's a what? He's a dog." They're just going hard on it.
Mel,
Mel Brooks is in it.
is he?
Yeah,
Then
he acted in it. Oh, Dan's on a potty break. He had to pee tinkle.
well, then that means that he probably was fine with it.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's fine, but I'm just saying it was a shot for shot. Because I'm sitting there watching, I was like, wait a second, this is Blazing Saddles,
Blazing Saddles is hilarious.
which is a great movie. So, other than that, we had a pretty lengthy news segment and things coming out, and it's gonna be a year.
Things coming out,
Yeah.
I don't know what's all. There's a movie with Jennifer Lawrence coming out. It looks pretty funny.
Is it the one with Adam Sandler?
No, that's Jennifer Aniston, bud.
Okay. I don't know. I stopped paying attention to these people.
What the heck is it called? Let me look it up. But I seen a preview for it. It actually looks pretty funny in the preview. But like I haven't seen her since was it the last Hunger Game or Silver Linings Playbook?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, when I looked up movies, Lance Reddick.
It's called No Hard Feelings.
Okay.
It looks hilarious.
I'll just have to check it out. Lance Reddick, the actor who played the concierge in John Wick series and Albert Wesker in the Resident Evil Netflix series that quickly
He
died.
He passed away.
He passed away at 60.
Had a heart attack.
Did they say heart attack? Because everyone thing I've seen says natural causes. Everything keeps saying natural causes,
That
which
is a
could
natural
be
cause.
Yeah, that could be.
That's a
But I say it could be any
that's
number
a
of
natural
things. You know what I
cause.
mean? It could be any number of things. I mean, he could have did a bunch of drugs and fell out a window. But like, that's natural causes. That's gravity.
No, that's not a natural cause.
What, the falling out of the window would be? It's gravity. That's natural.
But the cause to fall him, make
Yeah.
him fall out the window wouldn't be natural. So
Yes.
it wouldn't, therefore, wouldn't be a natural cause.
Eh.
of
Ain't listening to you.
death. Anyways, what are you getting at with it?
Oh, I'm just saying he passed away, which kind of I'm lukewarm about because there's not a whole lot I super like him in. Like, there's not a whole lot of movies I'm like, oh, I recognize him from that every time, like The Wire and stuff.
I don't get the whole Well, I'm just gonna keep the comments to myself. I mean, you know how I feel about death and all that. Like, yeah, it sucks that they die, but they're no part of my life.
So
You know
you're
what
not
I mean?
going to be broken up.
I'm not like, I don't get heartbroken over actresses or actors or sports people who pass away. Does it suck? Yeah, I feel bad for the families, but it doesn't affect me.
Actually, I'm even worse than that. I don't care one
It
way or
doesn't
the
affect
other.
me.
yeah.
It doesn't affect me personally.
It's 'cause you're
so
both dead on the
have
inside.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but you know.
He said, "Yeah, maybe."
Well, my thing is more of like it doesn't affect me, and
Well, yeah, right. That's what.
unless it's like some crazy tragedy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's when when you know, like you always see like when Betty White died, all you see is people like, "Oh my goodness!" I'm like, "Did you know her personally?"
Yeah. No.
She's also 90 something, so I don't know
yeah,
what
like,
to
she was
say.
99.
She was
So-
like 10 days away being
No,
100.
it was like 2. It was 2 or 3. It was like a couple days away from her birthday. So,
I don't know. I just don't get the whole. I don't. I never understood it.
So Kyle, do you get really verboten?
He got upset.
He gets verklempt.
He got upset. When,
Verboten means you can't say it. Never mind, I'm an idiot. But
he got upset when what's his name died, the voice actor for Batman.
really?
Yeah.
I got a little down and out with it. Not like, oh, my life is ruined. It was just one of
Was
those.
there like a single tear?
He ran home and cried, put his face in the pillow, everything.
Yeah, no.
I believe you.
I don't.
I believe you. Thank you.
I believe you that you saw that happen.
Yeah.
It's just, Greg just happened to be there, just like, hey.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been that person. I don't mean to sound heartless or anything, but that's just how I
I
am.
don't need to sound heartless, but I am.
I don't know why I don't know why you're trying to explain
I'm
it
not
away.
apologizing for anything. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like, I don't. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not like, you have to be affected by this. You have to.
Although I find it interesting, they said natural causes. I'm like, what does that mean?
Probably hard. I heard it was a heart attack. I heard it was cardiac arrest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so,
That does make sense.
but, I mean, he's dead. Like, so he's definitely not going to be Resident Evil Season 2.
There is no Resident Evil season. There is no Resident Evil season 2.
He will be. There will be. You got to believe.
Although
They
I think
nixed it. They've already
I
said there
know.
wasn't going to be one.
he's also like the only black guy I've ever heard of named Lance. Is there another black guy named Lance?
I don't know too many Lances at all. To be
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, right? I know a couple, but
I knew one growing up that I remember.
The only other Lance I know of was a drug cheat from cycling.
I was going to say Lance Armstrong.
so
He just beat all the other drug cheats at the time.
yeah, because he had the best drugs.
It wasn't drugs. It was,
No, he was just better because apparently
it was.
He was more
It was
aerodynamic.
No.
EPO. He was, so what he would do is he would put oxygen into his. He would take blood out and put oxygen in his blood, and then as the day before. So what you do is when you enrich your blood with oxygen, it gives you more stamina and strength. So that's what he was doing.
What I read is that he wasn't even as bad. He wasn't nearly as bad as most of those guys.
Oh, I believe it.
There's
I
one guy who
100%
used to be
believe it.
called the Cyborg, I think, because all he put so much EPO in his blood that freaking he didn't. Most of his oxygen came from drugs.
I believe it. 100%.
Yeah.
So he was just better at.
My theory.
I think every league should have a normal league. So, like in the UFC, have your normal, have your testing and everything, and then have like a roid.
A science
just
division.
have like a roid league.
The sides, yeah.
You can put.
We have two
whatever.
giant muscle heads who can barely move,
Yeah, you
trying to
can-
hit each other.
You
Ah!
have
It
whatever
looks like
you
a Godzilla fight at all times.
You can have
there would
whatever
be
you
no
want.
submissions.
Or like
There'd be no take.
or like battle bots.
I mean, there
or
would be.
something.
They
They
just
wouldn't be able
both
to get
fall
back up.
Yeah, they'd just be done.
Or be like battle bots.
Yeah. I just think that every league, the
Rock'em
NFL,
sock'em robots.
the NFL, the MLB, they should all have a roid league. It would be like the off-season league. So like the NFL ends in February, and then like March, the roid league would start.
And all the athletes like retire at 26 because their hearts are going to explode at
Yeah,
27.
yeah. They'll be running down the field and just collapse.
Everybody's 300 pounds plus because of muscle.
Yeah,
Just running around.
yeah. We got our.
Can't run faster than 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, right. The smallest guy in our league, 326 pounds. To everyone else is 400 plus pounds, and he's only got a bench of 390.
I really think they should do it.
Yeah,
I think I would watch it.
I would.
I would
Definitely watch
have
it.
fun watching it. Could you imagine like people 2 times the size as Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds swinging a baseball, just crushing balls, just crushing them.
Just home run derby all day.
The Spalding will peel off the balls
Every time. Just get a bucket of balls next to the pitcher. And they wouldn't even have a pitcher. It'd be just the shooter,
machine.
the
It'll be
machine,
the
because
machine.
the guy can't move his arm enough to actually throw the ball.
The gloves will look so tiny.
Oh my god. That'd be awesome.
You really can't throw well when you're.
No.
No, you can't.
No,
That's
because your arm don't go back far enough.
Roger Clemens was
I
like,
mean, I guess if you threw
oh my god.
underhanded,
What's the
you threw, like,
what's the
a
Olympic
submarine
event with the
throw.
ribbons? Where they do the-
rhythmic gymnastics.
Oh, gymnastics, yeah.
When guys like
This reminds me of the thing. Remember that one thing you used to say? He goes, "Oh, with rhythm gymnastics, but with chains."
yeah. Manly rhythmic gymnastics. It was me, Pete, Dan, Martin. We were all sitting around his house and we were all drinking, and we were talking about how we could, make a couple sports tougher. And we're like, I was like, I got an idea: rhythmic gymnastics, except with giant honking chains for men, just like clang, running around doing it.
I don't know. It's just an idea. I think I'm just floating it out there every league.
There's
You
no
can
such
try it.
thing as dumb ideas, only dumb executions.
I think they should try it.
Oh.
I mean, give it a shot.
What's the worst can happen?
I mean, they're going to be doing it anyways. Might as well let them just do it. Because, I mean, you're going to find... There's going to be the people that no matter what are going to do it.
Most pitchers just took that stuff to recover better, and once they got older. Because if you're young, you don't need it.
Oh, well, yeah.
As a
I mean,
pitcher,
that's with
for
anything.
example,
That's like when you get older and you break a bone, they give you steroids. to help your
as a
bones-
pitcher, you
make your
can't.
bones
You don't
strong.
want to get super
Jacked.
big,
Yeah, right.
but
So we'll move on to what we watched, and we all watched the last 2 episodes of The Last of
Finish
Us.
it?
I did.
So episode 8.
No, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8.
8 was the episode with Ellie while Joel was incapacitated.
Oh, that was incredibly boring.
No, it's the good one where she kills the dude. We're talking about
I thought 8 was the one.
where they go into backstory. No,
No, that's 7.
7th.
I was confused. Okay.
8's the
Yeah,
one. 8's the
because
one
we talked
where-
about that 2 weeks ago, where we were all really bored about talking about it.
8's the one where she actually is taking care of him and she shoots the deer.
Yep. And-
It's been a while. Because I watched these like
yeah, you watched it on time.
So
So,
episode 8 opens up. Ellie is taking care of Joel in a basement of a house of an abandoned town.
and he's not doing well.
He's not doing good at all. She needs to find food because she went through all the food.
Yeah.
Which I still think the horse was a very
The horse was right
very
there.
viable option. So she goes out and hunts with the rifle because it was like, what was it, episode 5? Joel teaches her how to shoot the rifle. She shoots the deer. She shoots the buck. And then that's when she runs into...
Well, no, at the beginning of the episode, he keeps telling her to leave and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Dead Banner. And then on top of it, we had the weird cold opening to David, and they wanted to give, just like they did with that other chick, but at least David had more agency in the game, so I was not as disappointed with where they try to add backstory and more character
Oh,
development.
you're talking about the girl in the Chicago. Or
Kansas City.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, where they put emphasis. Yeah, where they put emphasis on David, because David was a bigger character in the game, so it made more sense to give him more backstory, not some random chick they made up out of nowhere for no reason.
Right.
So they go into where he's like a religious leader, which in the game he was never actually. He had like a cult thing, but it was never like religious based. It was kind of like a weird, like he just ran everything,
Right.
and everyone followed him. And the other thing they changed about that is where he is a secret cannibal. Like, where he knew where the meat was coming from, but a lot of the people didn't.
Well, he said that only a few people in this compound knew.
Knew. Yeah, like the higher ups.
Yeah,
So
right.
But what bothered me is in the game, like I said, they were just raiders and they didn't care. They were just surviving. They were doing whatever they
Well,
could.
they're going to the same thing they did with the Kansas City part.
I mean,
Yeah.
would you eat someone to survive?
Yes.
No? Oh, there you go. I mean, I would too. So
But what I'm saying is, like, they wanted to try to humanize the rest of that village instead of just being a village full of evil cannibalistic D-bags.
Right.
Well, it's also the difference between a game and something else, because in the game it's just a sequence of adversaries, more or less.
Yeah, that's true too. So,
Oh yeah, they got to change it up. They have to make a story out of it.
So they start with that, and then they go out hunting because they heard there was deer. After Ellie shoots the deer, they found it dead.
Which makes no sense. I don't know how they found it before her without them hearing her shoot. Makes no sense.
Right? Because they're like, is there somebody around?
Yeah, right. They had to have heard her shoot.
Yeah.
The deer, where she hit that deer, it could only went 50 yards.
And then on top of it, there's no noise pollution anywhere, so there's no way they didn't hear that.
Right.
It was dead winter. There was nothing out. That shot would have echoed for miles.
So, anyways, after we quit poking holes in this,
Enough of our knowledge of reality.
So Ellie gets the jump on him, holds him hostage at gunpoint. They make offer of medicine for trade for the deer, half of the deer. So she's like, okay, go get medicine. So they send the one guy, and while they're waiting for him to come back,
he's trying to talk her.
he's trying to like talk to her, and he already figures out who she is, being in connection with Joel, because he's like, yeah, we sent some people out. And
the one guy died.
yeah, and it was the weirdest thing is the guy had a little girl with him that looked kind of just like you.
Well, and obviously that's how she figures out that they're looking for them.
Yeah, like they were all connected. Like he was part of the Raiders, and
Then the other guy comes back with the medicine. And he actually didn't plan on giving it to her.
Yeah, he was gonna just shoot her.
Right.
And so he tells her to give it to her. She takes the medicine, runs, leaves the whole deer behind. Now, Ellie's medical knowledge is awesome. Fill the syringe as far as it'll go and stick it directly into the wound.
She filled it right up.
She filled a giant syringe.
Did they actually say what kind of medicine it was?
It was
penicillin.
Penicillin.
Yeah, they said it. Penicillin.
Yep. It was penicillin. And she just took a full syringe of it and jammed it directly into the wound.
No.
That's what we said. It's like, I don't
You
think
have to
that's
put it
right.
around it.
Yeah. She put it
In the
in it.
vicinity and a little bit of a time to see what happens.
Yeah, well, obviously.
No, she just took
We know that.
She
Well,
just took
I
a-
didn't know it specifically,
She
but
took
I would
a- and it was
never
like a-
just put it right in like that.
I don't think you don't even really have to put it in the wound. You could just inject it.
Right.
It gets in your bloodstream. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope, she put it directly into the wound.
Well, like I said, I don't know anything about it, but I know that you probably don't just fill the whole thing
Oh, she
up.
filled the whole.
The whole
I was like,
thing.
holy crap! She's going for the whole.
Number one, his heart is racing like really fast trying to deal with it.
The infection as it
And
is.
I don't know what the penicillin will do, so, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's good times.
So, during that, like, and I guess it was like 2 days later, they track Ellie's footprints in the snow.
Well, they go back to the compound with the deer.
Yeah.
You earlier in the episode, you find out the one guy died, had a wife and kid. The daughter is all upset about it.
Kept asking what was going to happen to his body. And he
right.
goes, we're going to wait till summer, but he's
Spring
going to...
to bury
he's
him,
gonna
but really
eat
they're
it.
going to eat him.
Yeah, I know.
And then they went into where he beats the crap out of it. Well, he doesn't beat her.
He just backhands.
He
her
backhand
all the time,
the crap out of her. He smacked the bricks at her. And, like...
the bricks at her. That's how you said it.
Well, I was going to say beat the bricks out of her, but he only hits her once.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm your father now. I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
that's
it's really
creepy.
weird. It was.
Which
They
in
did
the-
make him creepy. I mean,
Well, in the game,
creepy.
he's like that creepy creep, but in the
Was
show,
that his fetish? Where he like goes, I adopt a daughter, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then he does things to her.
yes,
Is that what
because in the
happens?
game, when Ellie's locked up and the secondary guy's like, hey, let's not make this like another one of your little extra wives or whatever, and he's like, don't worry about it, I got this. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna get weird. So they track her down. She tries to take off and run to lure him away from
Joel, and they shoot the horse while she's riding.
Yep. Which that was fine. That's fine what they did in the game.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, no, I'm saying in the game it happened a little different. As she was sneaking around through the town trying to get out of the town to lure him out, and right when she's about to exit the one building and make it out and be on the run, they catch her at the door.
Right.
So I like how they did it. It was short and sweet.
I love the interrogations. The interrogation with Joel. It's a great
Yeah.
interrogation.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
Joel immediately recovers an hour later with all that penicillin in his body.
Well, I don't think I think it's like you said. It's a day or two later, so he's
because
kind of.
she was like in the lockup, and then he tries to put his finger through the door thing.
Yeah,
and
she
she
tried to
breaks
hold
his
her
finger.
hand.
She bites the finger. Oh yeah, she does break it. You're right.
She breaks it, and then when they, because he's trying to like lure her to be part of his group. And,
Well, that's a part of the game, right? Like he gives her food. And
Yeah, and he's trying to,
and then
like-
she realizes that he's been eating people, so she throws it back at him.
well, they were kind of more obvious with it. Like as soon as they got into it, like he was like very obvious. Like they're
Well, it's
It
not.
wasn't-
She didn't. She just trusted him from the beginning.
Well, yeah,
It's not like, oh, you kidnapped me. I'm supposed to trust you now. Is what?
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, right.
And she's always talking back to even Joel, and she likes him.
yeah,
So some guy, she's not gonna.
yeah. Trying to like
Yeah,
lure
right.
her in. Like I have so much to offer. Like what?
yeah, right.
She'll try to kill you as soon as she has a chance.
Well, she did try. You ready?
Yep. And then after
Joel-
she broke his finger, he's all upset and he's gonna go get the dude to help kill her.
Well, we're skipping the whole interrogation.
Oh no, we're going.
No,
back
we're
to
going
about
back
that
to
We're
time.
gonna go back to
Yeah, because about that time's when Joel wakes
Yeah,
up.
because that's when they go to the interrogation part. Because
Yeah.
right after she breaks his finger, he's going to come back, and then they do the interrogation part. Because these guys try to ambush Joel,
Right.
and he's up.
Yeah, they're trying
He,
to find
he kills the first dude
By,
just
like-
by stabbing him in the back of the neck.
Because he walks down, and it's like, dang, right there,
Well,
right
he was
then.
hiding behind the
Right.
front door, and the guy's looking around, and he jumps out of the door.
Yep.
And then he,
And then the other two.
and then
They're great. I love the interrogation.
he stabs the one guy. He snaps the neck of the other guy. Right? Is that right?
No.
No, and
How many
he
guys
knocks
were
out. There was three.
There's three.
Oh,
He
okay.
knocks
Now,
the
you
one
were-
guy
Guy
out.
out.
I know where you're
I thought
going
he
for,
snapped the
'cause
neck of the
when
first
we-
guy.
That's the guy. That's the guy that actually stabs him with the bat.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. As I said, you also remember the game where you don't just kill one dude, you kill like 16 dudes. Like, so, in very extreme ways. So you
So how is he incapacitates the other
So
guys?
he
Yeah.
kills the first guy with the knife, and then it goes outside where the one guy's walking around the house and he sees his buddy laying face down in the snow,
Mm-hmm.
and he like bends down to like wake him up, and as he does, Joel hits him in the back of the head with a rifle.
Yep, and they never explain how he got the other guy.
I'm assuming the same way.
Yeah.
So then they wake up and they're in they're in the basement,
Tied to chairs.
tied to chairs, and Joel's like beating the living crap,
Beating the bricks off him.
the living crap out of him.
And then stabs him in the leg.
He's like asking questions. He's like, "I'll never tell you," and he takes a buck knife that's like 10 inches long, and
Jams it
jams it
right in that dude's knee.
Oh.
And then starts turning it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's the stuff.
And he's like, "Where is she at?" And he tells her,
And then he makes him point to it on the map. He goes, I'm going to ask your
By
buddy.
putting the knife in his mouth.
"Yeah."
Yeah, and he goes, I'm going to ask your buddy.
And if he doesn't
If you tell
point
me
to
the same thing,
spot,
I'm gonna come-
I'm gonna kill you both.
And then he goes to the second guy, and he goes, I'm not going to tell you anything. He goes, I believe the other guy, and stabs him in the face. I'm like, wow.
So he kills the first guy, and he goes over to the second
Yeah, he
guy.
stabs the first
In
guy,
the
then
chest,
he pulls,
yeah.
and then he takes a pipe and beats the other
Yeah,
dude
he
to death.
beats him. I was gonna say he beats him with a pipe.
Oh, I thought he
Yeah.
stabbed
He goes
him.
over to the second guy. He goes, "I won't tell you anything." He goes, "It's okay. I believe the first guy." And then he beats him with the pipe.
It's pretty graphic in the game too. It's pretty good. I think in the actual game he has both of them pointed out,
Yeah.
and then he kills the crowd. He's like, "You say you like," and he's like, just going crazy on him.
I did like the line though, where he was like, "It's okay. I believed him."
So then Joel's on his way to get her. During that time, the guy comes back with his partner. They go in to get her to put her on the chopping block.
And then
As she's fighting him and bites him while
No. So what happens is, as they lay him down, he has that big butcher's knife.
Yeah.
And he lays it down next to her head.
He slams it into the table. No, he slams it into the table.
Next to her head.
Yeah, but she bit him while they were struggling to get her out of the cage.
Well, yeah.
She's like, I'm infected.
Yeah, right.
And then he goes, look at my arm.
She
And,
shows him the bite mark.
and then he's like, no, this is a lie. This isn't true. And he's like not knowing what to think because he doesn't know if the other guy's not paying attention. She reaches up real fast, grabs the butcher's knife, slams it into the dude's neck.
Yep.
And that was graphic. Ooh, it was good.
And then they end up getting into a fight. And then, how did the place catch on fire?
She threw she found a lighter or something and threw a piece of wood that was on fire at him.
Yeah, she lit a piece
And,
of fire.
and it hit the
Curtains.
and the curtains caught on fire.
And then all the wood instantly
Apparently,
took.
it was the driest wood in the world.
It was freshly lacquered. It was
And-
lacquered the day before.
And it just caught up like tinder.
Yeah, it
So
was
there's
freshly lacquered.
at least 3 instances of physics not working the way it should.
It was the driest wood in the world.
Penicillin is super medicine.
Yep.
Gunshots don't carry.
And dry
And
wood
dry wood.
instantly ignites.
Yeah, right.
I was assuming it was just lacquered. That's where I'm at because it was pretty nice. It was a nice stain to it. So
It was a pretty nice thing.
And considering it's been like, I don't know, how many years since they
30.
restained? So there you go.
Whatever. We'll go
And so
with it.
anyway, it's on
We'll
fire,
go with
and
it.
they're
It's on
fighting,
fire.
and all.
she's trying to sneak up on him.
And then it got really creepy when he finally
Yeah,
caught her.
It got really.
And he was like trying to unbuckle his pants, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in the game, when we get to that point, he's kind of like talking creepy like that, but he's just like choking her and beating on her.
Mm-hmm.
This one went into a very direct. Like this dude is a creep. He's the bad man.
Yeah. And so
She's
she's fighting back, and he starts laughing. He says something like,
He's like, "I like the-
don't you understand?
I
Haven't you
like
figured
the-
it out yet. I like the fight or whatever."
yeah.
And like what you said, he went to go unbuckle his pants, and that's when she found the cleaver again.
Or no, it was a knife. It was a knife. She
A
stabbed
regular knife,
I thought it was the cleaver again.
No, it was a regular knife.
I thought
and
it
then
was
he
the-
stabbed. She
Because he
stabbed.
pulled the cleaver out of his neck and followed her with it.
Yeah, but she still.
he
oh
had-
yeah, she got it
It
on
was
the
the
table.
cleaver. It was the
Yeah,
cleaver.
because she had a knife. That's what she stabbed him in the leg with in the
Yes,
first time.
correct. Yeah.
All right. Yes, it was a cleaver. Then she started just chomping him
I
in
mean,
the
she
face.
went to town on his head with
Yeah,
that
like she
cleaver.
was saturated in blood.
And then did Joel go into the diner?
No, he was
Or
going.
the-
He was heading in, and she ran out and
Okay.
grabbed her.
Yeah, in the game, he's walking in as she's screaming, chopping his face into mincemeat, and he grabs her and gets her out of there. Like she's so then.
Because the mincemeat part and the torture part are the best parts in
Yes.
that shit. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know
that's
why.
definitely the best.
I think
part
the
of
episode was really good all the way around. It was really creepy. It was very direct. It wasn't trying to drag it on. The pace of the episode was really good. So then we get to episode,
Except for physics.
yeah,
Yeah,
some of the physics,
Yeah.
yeah. But
some of
we're-
the realistic stuff,
so then we get to episode 9.
which was a very short episode. It was only like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was quick, short, to
they
the
got
point.
right to it. Yeah,
Like
right.
they did the nice little scene where she got to see
Giraffe,
giraffes
yeah.
and the little bonding moment, and they skipped down on all the infected stuff that you deal with in the game, where you get to see some of the more heavily infected people that are still alive and
right.
the giant things and dealing with all that, and just had the Fireflies see him, knock him out, and take him to the
Well,
hospital.
they hit him with a flashbang.
Yeah, they hit him with a flashbang, then knock him out, get him to the hospital.
Joel wakes up in the room with what's her name, the mixed lady,
I don't know her name.
the head of the Firefly.
I
that sent
forget
her
her
there
name.
originally. And he's like, well, where's she at? She tells him she's in surgery. He goes, surgery for what? And she goes, well, they have to
Marlene.
they have to go in and
Cut out a chunk of her brain because they need to figure out why that
well,
chunk.
she didn't say it in those words. He figures it out. She's like, well, they said the reason she's immune is because when she was in the utero, like she
It
has
bonded with her.
yeah, and that she has like
Her brain developed a antibody.
yeah. So when it goes in, it thinks that it's already there, so it doesn't attack the system.
Yep.
And Joel, I can't remember the name of it, but Joel's like, well, that develops in the brain. And she was like, yeah,
Cordyceps developed brain.
cordyceps. That's it.
Yeah. She goes, or she pretty much told her she's going to die.
Right.
Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. She's gonna die from this operation. And then he's like, well, did you tell her? She goes, nope, there's no need. I'm not telling her nothing. She'll do it anyway. She goes, she'd probably do it anyways.
Well, she said that I don't have a choice, and he said I do, and that's when
remember he's like, you can't take that choice away from her.
that was in the end.
No.
That was before he kills her.
Yeah, but they also talked about it before he sent her out. Like a hot, quick second, like, she goes, I didn't tell her because there was no point because we're going to do it anyways. Like, they were like, we're going to operate on her whether she wanted to, not now. She's here.
Because that was Joel's deal with it. he didn't want them to just do it unilaterally.
Well, no, they just didn't want her die. He didn't want her to die because
Yeah,
he's
now
I understand that.
his broken, crazy brains. Like, that's my daughter now.
But the question of most people watching it would be like, why aren't they talking to her about it, giving her a choice one way or the other?
Right. Well, and they kind of get back to
Now,
that
I
later.
understand Joel's perspective, but
So-
the audience perspective is another thing
So
entirely.
she's like, I don't have a choice. He's like, well, I do, and that's when she takes the guards and tells them to take him out,
Yep.
and then they're like 5 flights down the steps, and he's had enough.
Yeah. he just
He goes into berserker mode.
and he kills at
Everybody.
least 40 people.
The only people that lived were the nurses in the operating theater.
That's what I said. I said the nurses. He should have whacked them too. No witnesses.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if there's witnesses. It's post-apocalyptic America. What is there, a little justice system going to do something?
Well, yeah, because now the firefighters are going to be after him no matter.
The firefighters are going to be after him anyway.
He could have at least said that- he could have
they're-
at least said Raiders came.
They already know.
But they're not going to believe him.
They already know. Number one, he's like the most deadly guy who's ever been in that organization
Ever.
or near that organization. They know his brother helped him probably.
And they already knew that he
He's
was
the-
successfully, because they're like a
Well, yeah, he was a Raider at one point. Yeah,
yeah. But what I'm saying is how the Fireflies work. They're like a military organization, so
right.
they're in communication with each other. So I guarantee you, the minute Ellie's there said, "Hey, we actually might have the cure. We're about to operate on this chick." There's no way they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, this guy says Raider showed up and killed everybody but him and the girl that's special."
And why would and he would number one, he would never tell them anything anyway. He's not
he
talking
wouldn't-
to them.
Yeah, he's not gonna talk to him.
So he murks everybody.
Yeah.
Goes in
And
berserker mode.
he makes this military trained people completely ineffective.
Look like schmucks.
yeah, look like schmucks. That's a perfect. Oh, it's perfect.
I do like the one where he makes the guy lower the gun. The guy puts his hands up and he goes.
He just shoots him right away. He's like, I don't want no problems. Bam! Just shoots him, and then we get to
he goes through the whole hospital.
Right.
He grabs her. He's walking out with her
out of the
little parking
garage
Yep.
thing.
And then once
Marlene
confronts him,
tries to stop him, tries to talk sense into him.
and that's when she's like, "You didn't even give her a choice," and he's like, "And neither did you."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, are you going to give her a choice now?" And he was like, "No."
He's like, I can't do it.
And then he like took the gun out from underneath her and shot her right in the guts.
Shoots her in the guts.
Yeah. What my thing is, I don't understand what she was trying to do at that point. He literally killed every guy in your platoon. There was at least 40 guys with you. He killed all of them. What chance were you going to talk sense into this
Either
dude?
run away or try to kill him.
Yeah, shoot him in the back of the head. He's walking away from me. So, anyways, he puts her in the car.
He shoots her in the gut, and then she like talks like, "You don't have to do this."
Oh yeah,
Well, he puts her in the car first, so he goes through
and then he
her
goes
brain.
back. He goes back to her, and that's when she's like, "You don't have to do this. You can let me go. I'll just leave it alone." And he was like, "Nope." He's like, "You're just gonna come after."
Yeah.
I was like, "Jeez."
Yeah, he did not waste any time with that. Now, one of the key people he killed was the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the only doctor in the world right now who knew enough about brains and the cordyceps to be able to do a cure. So even if they recaptured Ellie at this point, no one's smart enough.
And then they travel their way back to the compound.
Yep.
And before they go in, Ellie stops him and says,
Is that really what? Because he explained to her that the Raiders attacked.
"Do you promise me that that's the true story?" And he said, "I promise," and that's where it ends.
Yep. Exactly where it ends in the game. So
I like the last 2 episodes were really good. I like the last 2 episodes.
it was a good series. It held true enough to the game where I wasn't going to be disappointed at all. Except for that stupid Kansas City series of episodes. They sucked.
I do like the gun battle in the laundromat,
Yeah,
that was
a
good.
one. Yeah,
and then she had to save him, and
yeah.
Yep.
That was I like
Yeah,
that.
that was a good.
But when they first get to Kansas City, it's
So
good.
with our last 60 seconds, scale to 1 to 10, Dan, rating of Last of Us.
I don't know. It's like 8.5, close to
I was
9.
going to say an 8. I'd give it
Yeah, something
I
like
would
that.
say 8 to a 9.
Yeah.
All right. Yay, we're
Except-
actually agreeing on
Except for
things.
some, obvious physics problems.
Yeah, we're always going to have issues with physics
Yeah,
problems.
we're always going to poke holes.
But
and stuff.
that's going to be the end of our show. It's time for us to go.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.